What's up, gang? Carlton Flowers here, your crypto pro. Yay! And we have an emergency update that we need to take a look at with Bitcoin and the entire crypto market. We have got some red bars on the 4-hour popping up out of nowhere that was completely unexpected because, of course, as you know, some of the hot shots on YouTube like BitBoy, who was just calling for a $350,000 Bitcoin. Why he's talking about that right now, I don't know. And several others who were saying that we're about to break out and pump to 57K. Well, this current move certainly is not in that same direction. And because of the fact that we are seeing this across the board, I figured we needed to do a quick emergency video and check out the TA on some of the top coins. So let's get rid of my handsome face and just look here at the Bitcoin chart on the 4-hour as we've jumped down and touched at the bottom of the support resistance zone that is currently in play. I'm going to stretch this out this way a little bit. Wow, so the stochastic is absolutely bearish, jumping down into the oversold zone. But if this is a bottom, we have a higher low, and it could mean that we bounce out of this and move up. However, the MACD is looking very bearish as the slow line and the fast line on the oscillators is moving down at a steep angle, and we're printing bars in the negative on the histogram. Let's look at XRP dipping down into my strike zone box here, which tells me I need to get a bag and start to do my DCA game. By the way, this is not financial advice. Don't make any trading decisions based on what I'm talking about. You need to make those decisions based on your own due diligence. But XRP dipping down below $1, and it's been quite some time that we have seen a 99 cents XRP. All right, so we are now trading below the point of control on the volume profile here in the visible range, the VPVR. And again, we're dipping down into oversold boundary here. We still have some negative momentum yet to go, so this might not be the bottom as we've got this small green, somewhat of a doji candle right here after that big red wick. Moving on to Ethereum on the 4-hour, same big dip. Now, what do you think is going on when we see XRP, Bitcoin, and Ethereum mirroring each other, all showing this red dip on the 4-hour chart? Could it possibly be that this is bot trading? Could it possibly be that the market makers have some monkey business going on, or are the institutional traders ready to unload and let this market fall and then scoop these things up at low prices to profit off of you and me, the retail investors, by fooling us with all of this bullish information and talk about blasting off to 57K with Bitcoin, and then boom, we get the opposite. Could that be the case? Let's look at Solana. Solana does not have as big of a dip, but there is a dip, and we are still trading on a red candle as we have fallen below the volume node at 159. I talked about on my last Solana video that we were sliding into 141, and we did. We touched off on it, and we had a rebound, and now we're sliding right back down to 141. If we do not hold that, if we get down here and we're not even below into the oversold zone, so there is a possibility that this could continue down to the 200 EMA line on the 4-hour chart. And if that were to happen, we could slip all the way down here to 116. That's not guaranteed. It could catch itself and move right back up to this 159 volume node. Time will tell. Litecoin, same action. Big red candle on the 4-hour. Chainlink, same action. Big red candle on the 4-hour. Anchor, same action, big red candle on the 4-hour. I could just go straight down the list of all my favorites, and we're going to see the same thing. Here we are with AMP. We've got that same dip. Each one of these is showing a stochastic. Now, Anchor actually is already down here in the oversold zone, looking like it wants to rebound. But again, this MACD, look what's happening here. It is diverging. The fast line is moving away from the slow line, and it is pointing at a steep angle downward, which says that we are in a bearish momentum right now. IOTX, same action. IOTX is something that I just picked up on Coinbase. Filecoin, same little correction. Now this could be a blip and it could reverse itself rather quickly, but it's just a good enough sign to know that anything is possible, and you better watch out when you're listening to these very bullish people on YouTube calling for these extreme price breakouts to the positive, when we know that September is usually a month that leaves us in bleeding red. Let's look at the graph. The graph has that same big dip. Now, this is what concerns me, is when everything is taking a dip in unison. Mana, same dip, strong dip. Loom took a nice dive, a double dive. Loom actually did very well. It jumped all the way up to 17 cents. I should have hung on to this. I sold it way back when before the big drop, and I'm waiting for this to bottom out to jump back in. District 0x, another favorite of mine, same dip. Let's look at Matic, down to $1.24 with the same dip. I could go on and on. BTRST has a small version of this dip, but there it is right there. This is a project new to Coinbase. Let's look at Civic. Civic has that same drop after making this outstanding breakout move that took us all the way up to nearly $1, and we're back down to 46 cents. GNT at 49 cents. It had that dip, but it's trying to fight its way back up to the 200 EMA. All right, Algorand took the same dip, coming off of this spike, running up to $2 and breaking the $2 mark. How about ACH, same dip, falling below the 200 EMA and the 50 EMA, where we have a bearish cross right here. I wouldn't want to call this a death cross because this is the 4-hour chart, but at any rate, it's taking that same movement. VeChain, very strong dip, not looking good there. The stochastic is bottom, but it could stay down here for a while because the MACD oscillators are divergent, moving away from each other with a downward momentum. Let's see if I can find band, but before we go there, here is VThor, the gas for the VeChain blockchain, same dip right there. Dogecoin, same dip. Now this is just wow. Market wide, ADA, Cardano, look at the dip, folks. We're down to $2.17. BNT, very strong dip. Uniswap taking a hit down to $22. Where is DOT? We're going to look at DOT. Here it is at $31.57, reflecting that same dip. And I think we can just stop right there. It's just wow, there's Theta, same thing. We've made the point. Let's go back up to Bitcoin and let's see what the chart is looking like on the 1 day. Flipping to the 1 day, here we go. And we see that red candle taking us down near the bottom of the channel. And what concerns me, look at the stochastic on the 1 day. It has flipped, turned over, and the fast line is diverging quickly away from the slow line, and we are going back into the negative on the histogram with the MACD. Let's look at XRP on the 1 day. There it is again. This is a very ugly looking stochastic. So we might have a brief break as the stochastic on the 4-hour on most of these is just about bottomed out. But we have 6 cycles of the 4-hour chart to equal what's happening on the 1 day. So if the 1 day is looking bearish on the stochastic, I think we're going to see lower prices by this time tomorrow. This is very, very important that we understand that and the positioning on the stochastic compared from the 4-hour to the 1 day charts. Here is Solana. It looked like the slow line and the fast line were about to cross, but now it's looking like it's going to continue to head down south. So this is a much more clear picture as we can see that we're in a definite downtrend coming off of that peak up above 215. Let's see, Litecoin. Wow, that is not looking good. We have a very bearish stochastic on that 1 day. And if we just run on through the line, we're going to see the same thing with all of these projects. The stochastic across the board on everything is looking ugly on the 1 day chart. Wow, I'm just, boy, I don't know what else to say about this. This is amazing. Now, where is it going to go from here? Well, let's just jump up to Bitcoin and focus on this as we close out. Bitcoin will determine where the market goes. And I think that if some people are saying that if Bitcoin takes a dive, we could run into alt season, but I won't believe that until we see it, because up until now, all through the summer, we have seen Bitcoin take the lead and the alts are following and not diverging. So if Bitcoin continues on this dip here, it looks like we could hit this volume node. Let's just get more data into this so we can see on the visible range. Look at the point of control. It's sitting at 33,000. It is very possible if we hit into this slip zone, this is what I call a slip zone. It is very possible that if this momentum continues, that we could tip down at 33, and then we could probably resume the bull market from that point. The only thing we have to go by right now is that we have slightly bearish momentum right here, and we are still in this bearish trending trading channel. I am not going to be comfortable about a change in direction with this market until we break out of this channel once and for good. When that happens, then we'll reevaluate and we'll talk about returning to this volume node here at 47 or jumping up to that 57 that so many people want to talk about. I've got this support resistance zone already annotated on my chart, waiting for us when we have that breakout to see what happens here. If we do happen to jump out of this and head up, I'm going to be looking to see if we reject here and come on down, or if we plow through it and move up. Now, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, if we continue to correct, I think 33 could be a bottom point. But if we jump out of this and we blast off and hit this 57K target, I think the correction will be more severe. There could be a possibility we see this node at 23,000. It's possible. It's not the most probable outcome. What is most probable for right now is that we could settle down at the bottom of this support resistance zone that I've outlined on my chart. That's all we know. It is highly probable that we're going to dip down and come back down to the bottom of this here, and then we'll reevaluate. I do not have a crystal ball, so save your time if you want to post something in the comments stating that my TA doesn't work, or you said it was going to go down and it done went up. I don't need to hear all that. All I am doing is trying to get the best evidence that I can get, which will help me to make decisions. I have a game plan, and as you know, my game plan is if we fail this mark, I'm going to DCA. I will be dollar cost averaging the entire time that Bitcoin moves down until it stops. And so let's just draw a box. This is my DCA zone all the way down to here. If we make it to 33, I'm buying. If we drop below 33 and fail, I'm buying. At whatever point that we bounce out of this, I'm looking good because I've already bought some bags. So it does not matter what happens. I have a game plan. So this is not about predicting exactly where Bitcoin is going to go, because no one can do that. If some of these people out here who are really searching for folks on YouTube for the answers, if you really think that someone can provide you the exact answers of where Bitcoin is going to go, none of this would work. Because if everyone followed these folks who had a crystal ball and they got it right all of the time, who's going to be buying when they want to sell for a profit? Think about that for a while. When the masses think the exact same thing, the market will do the opposite. All we are trying to do is try to play against the big players, which would be the institutional investors that are in this to take the money out of our pockets and put into their hedge funds to satisfy their investor base. Please understand that. That's about all I've got for this update. Please let me know what your thoughts are. Is this correction going to continue, or are we going to bounce out of this and head to 57K? I want to hear about it. This is Carlton, and I am out.